I am Red Cyclone! Aria!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Mark with the mic.
What is going on, world?
Yep. Here we are back again. How's your wallet this week? Did they get you up? They hit you up?
No, not so much today. Not so much this week.
Okay, good. But you did say you got some stuff though, right?
Yeah, I got something in the mail. I got one of my pre-orders that I had no clue what the fuck it was. I got a RedCycloneInc collectible pre-order. I got my John Cena NWO.
Still waiting for mine. I hope nobody stole it. I'm gonna get mine.
John Cena NWO, which I don't want to open it because you have to open up the box in order to see it because it has the window, and I don't even want to touch it.
Yeah.
It looks dope in the packaging, but I want to see the figure and I can't see it because that's open it. Anyway, I got that. I got Rhea Ripley. I got Liv Morgan in her black suit, which I think Liv Morgan is like her toy is like 100% her. It looks just like her. Like everyone has like a little thing they kind of fuck up on. Hers is perfect. Like her 3 figures that came out, even the basic, all look like her. And then I got Spear Edge, the Spear Face Edge.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's all I got in. And then like last week I got the frogs from the NECA cartoon line, the Napoleon and Genghis Khan frogs.
Okay.
And there was another guy. Oh yeah, he got and Tommy got me the John Cena from the Firefly Funhouse match.
Okay, cool.
So I have 2 of the John Cenas from the Firefly Funhouse match.
We did 2 different phases.
Now I gotta get the bright green shirt one just to have it, and I have the whole Firefly Funhouse collection of stuff. But other than that, yeah. I got some stuff in the mail. I'm still waiting on a lot of stuff. I have so many pre-orders right now that I honestly, if they send me a box, I'm like, all right, let's see what it is.
True that.
But yeah. Other than that, I've just been playing Mass Effect. Mass Effect took over my life again. That's like the 3rd time in a generation but the remaster, the Legendary Edition, is so good. It's so good. And playing Mass Effect 2, oh my god. So I finished 1, I platinum 1. I really enjoyed 1, but once or 2 started rolling, I'm like, god damn, this game was so fucking good.
Yep. Agree 100%.
Like I'm like, yo, this is why this was my favorite game on the 360. Like, god damn, this game is so fucking good. I am enjoying every single minute of it. I love the characters. I love the way it looks, and on the new console, it just looks beautiful and it's fast and it doesn't load so much. So, yeah, jump on it. It's awesome.
Yes, sir. Get that Red Cyclone seal of approval, like we said. Do it.
So I have this holding me off to Ratchet and Clank, the new Ratchet and Clank game.
Okay.
It's just doing its job. Like I may finish part 2 this week, and then I'll start part 3, and then I might stop part 3 when Ratchet and Clank comes out.
Okay. Good stuff.
Depending on how long it takes. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How about you? What have you been up to?
All right. Not much. Been playing Mass Effect as well. Just got finished with 2, and I'm halfway, maybe through 3.
Okay.
I'm putting off 1 because I want to wait to play that. But I had to see what it looked like, because I staved it off. I didn't buy any PC versions of the games. They do exist.
Yeah.
So I waited for the Legendary Collection.
Yeah.
And they look amazing.
Yeah, they do. They did. I think they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't skimp on it.
Yeah.
I will say though, I forgot how good Mass Effect 3 plays.
Yeah.
I picked the Vanguard, and I put it on hardcore because I didn't I forgot the difficulty. I forgot how it felt to play that game on story mode because I only played the multiplayer after a certain time.
Yeah.
I heard there's news about they're saying if the fans really want it, they're gonna do it. So I'm like, you know what? How do you let them know? Let's go.
Yeah.
But either way, I forgot that there was so much DLC to that game that I did not purchase.
Yeah.
I never played the Leviathan DLC. I completely forgot about it. I never played the Citadel DLC. I never played the Omega DLC. Like, so there's a bunch of stuff that it pops up early on in the game.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I've never even seen this before.
Oh, again, part 2. I just remembered them too. Like, forget that they are part of the DLC. Like the Shadow Broker and the girl Kashimi or her name?
Oh, Kasumi.
Yeah, her. Like her, I completely forgot about her, and I was like, oh shit. And they kind of early in the game that you could do them. So I just got to do the Shadow Broker. I think the only one I'm missing now. But
so yeah, it's been fun going back and revisiting those. Just like you said, just waiting until some other stuff comes out. Not really looking forward to it. There's nothing that really has my attention right now. I'm just gonna wait. They did announce, and this is cool, the 35th anniversary of Dragon Quest as a series.
Cool.
35 is a long ass time. But the reason it's extra cool is because Dragon Quest had a really big impact on Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yes.
The one thing I would say, I hope, fingers crossed, I know it's Sega and Dragon Quest is a different thing. I think now they're owned by Atlas, I believe. So I just hope they throw a little nod to the main character because, you know, obviously it wouldn't play the way it was if it wasn't for his infatuation with that series.
Yeah.
So there's going to be an event happening on Wednesday the 26th. So they're going to be, actually Square Enix is going to be commemorating them with a live stream. So we'll see.
Sweet.
I guess actually they're a Square Enix company, so that's really where they lie. So it's not Atlas. So I don't really play that series of games. I'm just more interested to see what they come up with next. But like I said, I'm keeping an eye out for any nods to Yakuza stuff.
Yes.
Other than that, like I said, game-wise, I've heard good things about this game called Biomutant.
Cool.
I saw a demo that debuted on Xbox for a game called Scarlet Nexus, which looks incredibly good. It has the lineage from if you've ever played the Tales of games from Namco.
Yeah.
They have some background there. It looks like it's a mix between that, a Tales game, and maybe like something like. Did you ever get a chance on the Nintendo Switch to play Astral Chain?
Yes, I did. I actually liked it. It was pretty good.
And so that's made by Platinum.
Yeah.
And you know that has roots in Devil May Cry, and this definitely looks like it was influenced by Devil May Cry, but more so by Astral Chain because like the way the UI is, and then it has a unique gimmick because the characters have psychic powers, and they incorporate that in the gameplay. So there's a lot of like use of the environment to defeat the enemies, but it's really, really, really unique how you do it because I've never seen it done with like the amount of style they put into it.
Yeah.
So that's something that like right away that had me like, oh, okay, I'm gonna look at this and see how this goes. So if you have a Xbox Series X or Series S, I believe it might be coming to the previous gen.
Okay.
But the demo is not out on anything else yet. I believe PlayStation is this week, and PC is a question mark. I don't know, so I'm kind of sad.
It's on PS4, Xbox One, and Windows.
Okay, so it's at least on the last set of consoles, so you'll be able to get it there. But like I said, that PlayStation demo, I don't believe it's out yet. I think maybe it's either tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah. Because
Xbox got the exclusive deal on it. Good on them. They didn't have many things that are exclusive that people want. Yeah. I mean, there's also something else that was more information starting to come out about Halo Infinite's Battle Royale, which is a thing. Again, I don't know if you're interested in Halo, Merc, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
And again, I don't hate Halo. Like that used to be the game back in the day for me and the homies.
I love Halo.
So,
I had many like LAN parties with Halo. I love Halo. I love, especially, I think part 2, especially online wise, or part 2 was my favorite one. I think that's the one I got the most into. 3 I got into as well. I played some tournaments and stuff like that, but I think that's where it ended. It was 3.
Yeah, but again, it's not the same Halo because it's not. Obviously, Bungie's gone.
Yeah,
they've been gone for years, and 343 is the company that the studio that's the head, right?
Yeah.
So they have a different feel, and I have not played any of the 343 Halos, so I don't know how they feel when you play them.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I just haven't been too much into it. That, and I did skip out on the SX, and because of PC, I'm not buying that console, the new console. I don't need that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That, and also there was announcements that for the Sony PC store, the PlayStation PC store is becoming a bigger thing. And then there's been, not rumors, there's been actual, I guess, leaks of like some of the pages and some of the games on there. So before it was out, Days Gone, somebody had leaked that it was going to be on the store. So Days Gone, I think last week, just came out on PC. So hopefully, here's to Sony exclusives building up that store. So then I won't have to give a damn about a PS5, and they'll have all the exclusives on PC. We'll see, because already we got Horizon and Days Gone is on there. I think there's a few more that were big deals. I think, don't quote me on it because I haven't seen it, but maybe an Uncharted might be in the future. So we'll see.
We'll see. Uncharted is a big game, so that would be dope on PC.
Yeah, I doubt that, but they're putting like first party. They're not going after like the smaller games. This is all the blockbusters. So
Yeah,
if it's not on there, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, Uncharted.
Like they seem to be going hard.
Yeah, Uncharted would be one that would be a lot of people want on. I think that would be one that a lot of people want. Between that or Last of Us.
Yeah, Last of Us. I mean, if they do Spider-Man, like literally all first.
Yeah,
exclusives.
The one I will say that
like
would be the one that I will say that would be great to find on PC, but I that's the one I doubt is Spider-Man.
We'll see because it's still considered first party, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like that's the focus.
But that's cool.
If they would go back and literally put some of the PS4 exclusives on there, like they're starting to trickle them on. Yeah, like if God of see, I think that was rumored as well.
Yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a good one for PC.
So hopefully it's not just rumors and they build that up. Cause
imagine Ghost. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ghost on PC.
Uncapped frame rate. Do what you want. That's what I'm looking for. So
yeah, that would be cool. Hopefully more get on, so you'll be able to experience a lot of the games without having the PS console.
Yeah, like there's no way I'm going back to the 4 and listen to that poor boy coughing and wheezing. Because it's a struggle. You turn that on for certain games, it's a struggle. So I forgot I can't play Monster Hunter because it's so old. My PS4 is so old that it overheats the console. It's just like that's where we are.
Yeah,
that's where we are at that one. So we'll see.
Right.
Also, I just want to give a little kick Nintendo in the shin because I saw they had a sale recently for a 4-year-old game and they only reduced the price by $20. I'm upset. This is why I do not have The Legend of Zelda. I may never have The Legend of Zelda.
This is what Nintendo
I don't,
does, though.
Because listen,
Nintendo is like Disney status.
No, but
they'll bring back a game 5 years later and just retag it, the classic version, and then fucking put a new green print on it and sell it for $60.
This is true. They got issues. I hear people are giving them some crap over an Amigo and locking some fast travel behind an Amigo. It's like, come on, man, what are you doing? But they kind of got the fans in that daze. I'm just saying it because as a person who's realistic about what I purchase, especially now, people are happy to be getting back to normal. But we ain't there yet. There's still lots of people who do not have their normal work schedules.
Yeah.
There are lots of people who do not have jobs because of what happened this past year and what is still continuing to happen. And it really does make me upset when I see people who profit the most from you being home, and they don't hit you off. They don't break you off for being a good for being a good consumer. You know what I'm saying? 4 years, dog. Yeah. Dog, what you doing? Yeah. Somebody, for comparison, put a bunch of stuff that was 4 years old, and it's just like PlayStation 4 games and Xbox One games at $19.99 for AAA stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, man.
I'm just saying, Grand Theft Auto still sells for like 40 almost $50 sometimes.
That game is different because that has more content for free than most games have at the end of their life cycle, period. You know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Yeah,
that's a game I can make an exception for that 100% of the time.
Well, let you finish what you were talking about with this game, and then I have something to
I was just saying, I just saw that was recent. So if you want to get what was the name of that the Switch Legend of Zelda? I forget, because I'm looking at a Skyward Sword page.
The Skyward Sword.
No, the original one. The original one.
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to get it, there is a $20 discount. So now's the time to be like, I guess if you just got a Switch, get it. Because also, details just came out that a brand new color came out, a solid blue, not a sky blue or anything.
Sonic blue.
You can call it Sonic blue. Might as well. It looks like it.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it. I actually like the color. If that was available when I first got the light, I think I would have went that
yes,
blue.
I agree. Most people probably would have picked up the nice Sonic blue. So
yes, Sonic blue.
Also, just another little cool thing to note, because it's showing love to Mass Effect, is that in the game No Man's Sky, they're having an event where there's a crossover and you can have the Normandy.
Yeah, I just saw that. That was actually pretty cool.
And it looks amazing. Yes. That is really cool. I mean, the Normandy is a dope spaceship design already, but to put it in a game like No Man's Sky, where it's just like, damn, all right. And you flying around, and since the updates and everything, it's a very populated game. Hence the reason they're putting more stuff still into it. But when it first started, you couldn't really see other people. So now you wanna get in there and get this Normandy and show it off, because I believe it's a timed event.
Yeah,
it's until the 31st of May.
Yeah, it's coming.
So now, being that you can see other players so much easier than you used to be able to, get that Normandy and just hover in somebody's space and be like, yeah.
So
it looks cool.
No, I was looking at a post that pretty much has like Grand Theft Auto, the original trilogy, and you actually see 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and then it's like trilogy now, PS3, PS4, PS5 is all Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with my friend, and I was like telling him, I was like, you know what? Honestly, if they know for a fact if they do a Grand Theft Auto 6, it's gonna take a long time. Why don't they remaster with the engine that the GTA 5 has, the original 3?
You would think so. And I believe there are anniversaries coming up for the series.
Yeah.
For 3.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if there have been plans said yet, like there's been any post about it. But I did see speculation that people were thinking there's going to be a big event inside of 5.
Yeah.
Which is probably what they're going to do.
I would like to, like, if they really like did it, like a full remaster of 3, Vice City and San Andreas, and like actually like buy as a bundle, like how the Yakuza did the remasters, and just like do it in a way that like they're like yearly come out. You can buy in one package and they come out yearly. But give us spread apart, especially if you're working on 6. And that's I think honestly I'll see 6 in 2023. I don't even see it that close. I see it far. So I would say, why don't you bring the remasters? I actually will take a Vice City remaster over GTA 5 again, just because I played it.
If they get rid of that annoying ass helicopter minigame, because you don't have to do all of them, but one of them is a story mission, and it sucked. I hated that. That's what I bounced. I never beat that game because I bounced off of that mission.
Yeah, I remember that mission. But I would like to see GTA come back and remaster their shit. With the GTA 5 engine.
Yeah, why not?
I think it would be fucking great.
Why not?
You had news about that dude from the creator of Berserk?
Let's give him some. Put some respect on the man's name.
Yes, because I don't know his name, so you say.
So, yeah, unfortunately, with all good news, there comes bad news. So the creator of the manga and subsequently the anime Berserk, Kentaro Miura, passed away last week. So at 54. And it is kind of one of those things that a lot of people who never heard of the Berserk or who didn't follow it, they don't realize the impact that the guy's art had. Because once you start breaking down almost every single RPG, some type of anything involving dark fantasy, somebody carrying a giant sword, the best friends betraying each other and literally sending the world into chaos over greed, there's tropes and there's things that came from Berserk that still persist in so much stuff to this very day that people take for granted or took for granted.
Yeah.
And then to see the outpouring of love and support for the dude when he passed is it kind of hits you because you don't realize just how much stuff the dude influenced. Damn. Yeah. So I'm just going through the most popular Final Fantasy VII. You would not have Cloud. He wouldn't exist. Period. So scratch that off the record. No Final Fantasy VII archetype would exist for his character. Dark Souls wouldn't exist. Bloodborne wouldn't exist. Let's see. What else would you have?
Nightmare.
Monster Hunter wouldn't exist. Nightmare wouldn't exist. Probably Soul Calibur as a whole wouldn't exist because the entire backstory is about the cursed sword.
Yeah.
They out here.
Yeah, oh yeah, they having parties. They partying for him. Yeah, the Berserk sword is fucking crazy. I never read the manga. I randomly played the game that was on Dreamcast. I remember that clearly because I think that was one of the first games I got for Dreamcast, and I enjoyed it. It was cool. It was fun. But yeah, you see the influence. If you actually look at the manga art and stuff like that, you see the influence that he brings into the table, especially with Final Fantasy, with Cloud and all that shit. It's pretty dope. The party stole Mike, and he's trying to figure out.
Oh, they having a rally out here today. There's motorcycles and everything.
The Rough Rider.
Drop, open up shop. No. But just even to things people don't realize Dragon's Dogma wouldn't exist, and that's one of my absolute favorite video games in existence.
Yeah,
it's so influenced by Berserk that it even has his armor in the original release that it had to be taken out because of licensing stuff. Once they went to other platforms, they lost the license for it. So, but the red dragon that's on the cover, the armor set, the archetype of anybody wielding a sword bigger than themselves basically was originated with Berserk. So if you played anything, you read anything, you've seen anything, just nod your head, and a little bit of respect for the guy is all I'm saying. So RIP. It's crazy. Freaking I told you, and just look how nuts it was. He got people to stand still. Like there's screenshots and like small videos of people playing Final Fantasy 14, which is a MMO, which is short for massively multiplayer online game, which literally means thousands of people playing online with each other at one time, right?
Yeah.
There's like a video of, I can't tell you how many people. It had to be at least 1,000.
Yeah.
Of just because there's a class based on the Dark Knight, and it's just, dude, when I say it's a lot, it's like one guy who's recording it is running down like an area in the game, and it's just people lined up and saluting, and it just goes on forever. And it's like, those are all real people. It's like, yeah. Like people are showing they setups on Reddit. A dude was like, yeah, at work at Barnes and Noble, they just they set up a little table for him, and they put all the, because they have it was recent too that it came out. I wanted to get it, but that shit's expensive, dude. Yeah, I'm not buying that now. They have the hardcover reprint of each edition of the manga, because the reason other people are so sad is that it never ended.
Ah, damn.
1989.
Damn.
Until now.
It's like Usagi.
Yeah.
Usagi's still going on to this day.
So the thing is that people are extra upset because not that the story didn't end, it's that the artist didn't get to finish the story. So that kind of sucks.
Maybe
so people are bummed out.
Who knows? Maybe he had maybe a way to end things if he
a template, maybe.
Yeah, because a lot of artists like they usually do shit like ahead of time. So maybe he has like a bunch of issues still like up in the air and hasn't come out yet. And then honestly, like the final one, you can make that the final thing and just maybe have like a guest star of like all the dudes that he influenced draw that book, and then you can end it there.
Yeah, speaking of, and I did manage to pre-order this because it wasn't obscenely expensive, but MF Doom had a final album.
Okay.
It was a final collaboration album. It's MF Doom and Czarface.
Oh, okay.
And so they did like a special limited edition album for that went up for pre-order. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. May 7th. I think
DMX also has one.
Oh, really? Wow.
I think he has a new song out or something like that.
I might have to look up.
Yeah, that would be actually a cool thing. Like honestly, like when I think the artist Michael Turner passed away.
Okay.
I think he passed away of cancer and shit. Mm-hmm. When he passed away, they were finishing up Civil War. So one of his books that they were doing, all the artists. I forgot what book he was doing. He was doing a book for Image, and I forgot the name of it. It was his book. It was like he wrote it and drew it. They got every person from Image to kind of do a homage to him, and then that's how they ended the book, because it was like in the middle of the story, and then they were able to end it. But they ended it in a way that just to tribute him. Everyone tried to do his style, but with their style, and that was actually cool. So yeah, I will say that's something they could easily do. They had to probably see if he had archives of stuff that he already had written. Again, most writers usually have like maybe months and months of shit already done. So there's probably still a venture still going. And if you need to end it and he doesn't have an ending, you can end it like that.
And I'm pretty sure, yeah, because you see the people who are reaching out were a bunch of like the other manga artists, like One Piece and all that. So I mean, if any community could rally together and do him justice, it's definitely the Japanese manga. Like, yeah, because they're a tight knit community.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we go into our 2 decades of comic book movies and superhero movies. Our next movie was Hardware.
Man, that's my reaction. So Hardware is rated R. That should have been rated X. This should have been rated X. Yeah. 100%. So it is an hour and 34. It is classified as a sci-fi thriller. It should be sci-fi horror.
I give it. You know what? That was something that I brought up to you. I was like, you know what? It was kind of a breath of fresh air because it was a kind of a horror movie, and that's something that we have not had yet. So that's what I think. What made me like this movie more because it was something different.
Yeah, definitely. But just because it wasn't bad because it did its job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie either. 1990.
I doesn't like it, but
1990 it came out. Did it come out in theaters over here? No, it was only United Kingdom. Well, it filmed in the United Kingdom. It came out September 14, 1990.
Okay, yes.
And,
He's having a good old time today. So this movie is directed by Richard Stanley, written by Steve McManus, Kevin O'Neill. It stars.
Oh shit! All right, my fault. Sorry to interrupt you. Shit like that. So this guy has a history of weird fucking movies.
Who?
The guy that directed this. He did that fucking Nicolas Cage movie, Color Out of Space. I heard that movie was really fucking weird, and I heard that was good. He did The Island of Monroe with Val Kilmer, Dr. Moreau, which I think is one of the movies we have on our list. He does like a lot of weird fucking movies.
Well,
I'm looking at his movies, and he has a lot of weird shit.
Well, he's good.
Yeah,
he good.
This is based on a short. What is it? It was a comic, one time only with a Judge Dredd comic, and it was called Shock. That's what it's based on. It was a British comic. It's a debut with Judge Dredd. Yes. And you have parties in Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner joined the party, that's why. He said he's out there for the barbecue.
Barbecuing with his freaks. Okay.
But yeah, he has the director has a lot of weird shit on his list. I might have to actually look at what he has. But one of the movies that we are going to wind up having a review is I think it's the Island of Dr. Monroe, because I think that's part of it, because I think it's based on an old comic book or whatnot. But I think that movie is on our list, so we're gonna visit that.
All right. So the cast is starring Carl McCoy, Iggy Pop as Angry Bob, the voice that you hear over the radio. Dylan McDermott as Moses Baxter, which is our main character. John Lynch as his homie Shades. Mark Northover as Alvy. Stacey Travis as Jill, the poor lady who did nothing wrong. We have Lemmy as taxi driver, who shows up for maybe approximately 2 minutes and plays Ace of Spades, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
that was funny. William Hoopkins, this guy as Lincoln Weinberg Jr. This character, I cannot believe this character. It's too real.
I know exactly.
It's too real. Woo. I want to just shout out Barbara Yu Ling as Chinese mother, because the little interludes they have of her banging on the ceiling is actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
So like, this movie is nuts. It's basically a post-apocalyptic story. Is the main characters are going through and surviving the post-apocalyptic, I guess, happenings in, I want to say, America, right?
Yeah.
They're in America, although Shades clearly has a British accent.
Yeah.
But so they're living in the aftermath of that. It starts out with them talking. They're giving you a rough idea of where they are. Like, they're on the West Coast, I believe, and they're talking about going to New York because to salvage junk and stuff. They're talking about prosthetic limbs and all types of clothes and things that were left in the debris. They mention the rads, and there's a lot to this movie that I feel was co-opted into the Fallout series.
Yeah.
From the mentioning of Rads, the way the world is basically, it's just a really bad space of them trying to survive in the aftermath of a nuclear fallout. Like, it doesn't look good at all. The scrap in the selling to the little guy is kind of, it's just like it, all of that stuff really reminds me like the bargaining, the bartering that goes on, the way the guns and the way the weapons and stuff look in that movie, the way the clothes, the way they're scrapping together their clothes, because the main character has like he almost looks like the main character in Cyborg with the duster over him.
Yeah. With
the army stuff, because he was in the army. He's in the space. I think he's a space marine. Like, at points that when they have conversations between him and his between Moses and Shades.
Yeah.
I was calling that, because one of the things I do like about this movie is it's dialogue heavy, but it builds the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I was surprised about it. Like, it's not the best acted movie. It's not the most. It's not the most not the most engaging horror film, because it really develops into that for like the last 45 for half of the movie. It's not. It doesn't start out that way.
I think it just does a good job in kind of like showing where they at, like giving you a painting of where everything is, and kind of just giving you the plot points of where you need to know.
Yeah.
And again,
like, showing you. Yeah.
And again, this movie did not have to do that, and it did.
It managed to do it well. Yeah.
We went to 22 movies, and there's a lot of them that did not do that.
Yes, you're right. You're 100% right. But it's kind of it's in one way, you realize that all of this is the main character's fault. If so, there's a point where he receives a scrap from the Nomad, played by Carl McCoy, who, like, he's prominent in the intro of the movie, and then that's about it. He's like the face of the movie. He's like the guy who's got like the outworlder, the surviving out in the wastes, real nomad look to him.
Yeah.
And he's the one that finds what will become the main antagonist, which is the android.
Yeah.
But it all starts with him digging the android up in the wastes and bringing it to get some I guess money for scrapping it.
Yeah.
And so they have a funny little scene with him bartering with the main character while the shop owner is away. So again, this would have been sold directly to the shop owner, and it would have been his problem only.
Yeah.
Instead, Moses decides to take it for himself because he made the sale.
Yeah.
And so he takes it and gives it to his, because he likes the way the basically it's the head of the android looks like a skull. Kind of looks like the Geist from what is that game that came out? It used to be the showpiece for PlayStation, from PlayStation 2 on. Remember the shooter?
Killzone?
Killzone. Yes, it looks like the Hellgas from Killzone.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like that's one of the closest things I can say.
It looked like a T-1000 without a mouth.
Or T-800. Because the 1000 is the liquid metal one. Yeah.
It looked like him.
I mean, essentially, you're not wrong, because essentially it was a regenerating Terminator.
Yeah.
To some degree.
And it had no mouth.
It had multiple arms. That was the main point that they showed in the diagrams. But it all really came down to, because of his greed, it screwed over his entire life.
Yeah.
Cost him his life, essentially. Destroyed his girlfriend's apartment and maimed her. Killed like people in her apartment building. Killed the creepy guy. Oh, the creepy guy. This guy.
That man had it coming.
He had it coming, but Lord have mercy.
When I first watched it, and like I was first watching the beginning of it and stuff like that, I thought he had. So I was kind of drunk when I was watching it the first time.
Okay.
And in my mind, I was just like, is he watching it from the eyes of the robot?
No. You're not wrong, because I was confused at first as well.
Yeah, so I thought that was going on. I was like, is he controlling the robot to see?
So the other plot point that's a major thing is once we are introduced to the girlfriend, which is pretty early in the movie, and that's Jill. She's like an artist, and so she takes junk and like she makes art. She basically is kind of today what you would see like a hipster chick. She's like lives in the rundown place that people would love to live in because it's a giant studio, like, you know what I mean? You know how it is. Like, have you ever seen like the warehouse type of apartment deal?
Yeah.
Where like Howard the Duck, the apartment
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yes, like the apartment the main girl lived in, where it's like it's an abandoned warehouse that was converted into an apartment. Yeah. So it has the same vibe. She's a stoner, like, which it makes me question the priorities of that world, because they have pre-rolled joints, which is only like a thing you see like today.
Yeah,
that's everybody's embraced that type of lifestyle, or at least is accepted, but that didn't exist back then, at least not in America.
Yeah,
so that type of thing was just like that for 1990, that's really forward thinking. So she basically gets high and makes art.
Yeah,
right. She'll smoke a joint and make art. Also, she'll do the dangerous thing of smoke something and go to sleep, which is the easiest way to burn down your apartment. Nobody should ever smoke and sleep. Just gonna put that PSA out there. That's how you start fires and burn down your apartment. Don't do it.
You know.
But that's her thing. So what? Yeah, because you're not introduced to that other guy yet. So when Moses shows up to her apartment, before he gets there, you're at least tipped off to the fact that somebody comes to her apartment, rings her bell, but is never on the camera, so she doesn't know who it is.
Yeah.
That's one thing you're given, that she's always on edge when somebody rings her bell, because she has to deal with that constantly.
Yeah.
So once Moses gets there, you're introduced to the fact, and him and Shades, they chill for a little bit. He shows her what he brought her, which is the head and some of the pieces of that android. She takes a liking to it because she wants to use it for art.
Yeah.
But so, they get reacquainted, because it does seem like at first that she's distant to him, and that she's really friendly with the friend, but you kind of find out that the friend looks after her because he's gone because he's in the military. Yeah. So at first I thought it was going to go one way, where it was like, oh man, you're going to find out the friend and her are cheating on him. And it's like, no, actually that's pretty wholesome. But what ends up happening is 20 times worse. So she has a stalker who lives in a building adjacent from her, who uses his super duper powered camera to spy through her blinds. And he essentially she's a subject. So as you hear, he has more. Yeah. Later on, he hips you to the fact that he has more people he does this to. But what he does is use his super powered camera to spy on her at any moment that he can. Be she naked or not. He's just spying. And he is cranking it. And he is filthy. This movie has some of the filthiest talk that does not match up to what's happening in the scene, mind you. He's saying the most just X-rated stuff, and the scene that's going on is just kind of like a wholesome, you can say wholesome sex scene. But mind you, you're given the fact, again, they built the world. They haven't seen each other in a long time, and they actually care for each other. So it's not like a raunchy sex scene. It's more of like they're holding each other, blah, 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 this and that. So it's like there's love there, right? And this guy's just saying filth. He is just going off and having the time of his life. He's sweating profusely. He looks like Ron Jeremy, but like 100 pounds heavier. He's got the neck. He looks like, who he really looks like? Right. He looks like John Lovitz, but like 100 pounds heavier. That's what he reminded me of.
Does look like John Lovitz.
He looks like John Lovitz, but 100 pounds heavier. I gotta emphasize the 100 pounds heavier because he's just sweating up a storm, and he's got an extra chin. It's a hell of an extra chin. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes a big focal point because even while you're introduced to the android coming back online, because unbeknownst to everybody, the shopkeep initiates the protocol that wakes him back up because he finds out what the guy brought. Because he has the other parts. See what the main character Moses did was give the shopkeeper some of the parts. He didn't give the whole thing to the girlfriend. He gave some of the parts to the guy because they were friends. So he's doing his back. So the shopkeep's doing his homework. They find that he's like this and that. So then he starts digging in, and they find that there was a military protocol to shut those things down because they just went crazy. But they also had a flaw in that they were very, very susceptible to I believe they said moisture is what it was. That just takes them out. But he sets it online, and it's basically doing its job. It sees human life. Its job is to exterminate it, basically. And then from that point, it turns into a thriller with a pervert, right?
Yeah.
And then it goes from thriller to straight up like just horror.
Yep.
Just horror with the girl. So now we got the main female. She's being hunted because Moses, after what they do, he wakes up and he goes out. He actually wasn't gonna leave. Then he left because the shopkeep called him.
Yeah.
So you feel what I mean by it's his fault. The shopkeep tells him to bring the head. So while he was sleeping, which mind you was a funny scene because he slept through her entire art project.
Yeah.
While she was using like power saws and sanders, and he's dreaming of rain. Like he's probably like 5 feet away. Yeah, and burning stuff and burning baby dolls.
Yeah.
And she's like 10 feet away, and he doesn't hear any of this. None of this wakes him up because I'm assuming he's slept through gunfire and explosions. So that's probably what that is.
Yeah.
So she's doing her thing. He wakes up later. So while she's done, he sees it. It looks kind of cool because she does a red, white, and blue stripes on the helmet and whatnot. She cleans it up, puts it inside a little baby doll, whatever, and mounts it on the wall. And he's like, I dig it. I don't know what the hell it means, but I dig it.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna take it because it's a gift to her, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. He messed up. So he leaves to go to the shopkeep, and then that's basically where our horror movie starts. Yeah. And not to go through the entire thing, but it's basically kind of like Sarah Connor versus a Terminator.
There you go.
You know what I mean? It kind of is. She's a smart chick because I guess she's used to taking stuff apart, and she realizes it's using infrared. So there's a part where she hides inside the fridge to mask her heat signal, which I thought was cool. She tries to blow it up. It doesn't do the job because it's literally made to build itself back up from scrap to kill. So it is a hell of a time destroying it, and that's basically the second half of the movie is that thing being a Terminator, and then because of everybody else getting involved, people just die. Our lovely pervert shows up, and he gets it good. He gets it the best. Like he gets his face just effed. Like the drill looks suspiciously like a penis. It really does. And the appendages on the thing, one of them is a buzzsaw, one of them is like a claw, like there's an arm, and there's like another one. And mind you, it's not even properly using the tools because it makes it up. Like one of them is like just a rusted sickle, and it's just like it is terrible.
Yeah.
So that's where the gore comes in. Again, this movie needs to be seen to be like believed at how hard it goes. It goes real hard.
It was a fun movie. It was like, again, like I was saying earlier, it was like a kind of a breath of fresh air because it's like the first horror movie we got off this list. So it was like that's the reason why I think it kind of got high. It got higher than what it would have if it wasn't, it was just like a lot of superhero stuff and basic superhero stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I liked the uniqueness of it. It was weird, but it was fun. It was cool. It had some good music too. The music was
that's true. That's true. Soundtrack was pretty good. But I just like the little touches. There's a part where Shades gets high on some futuristic drug, and then the guy calls him to go save his girlfriend, and he's like basically naked in his house, tripping balls.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be all right, man."
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you talking about? I'm counting on you." He's like, "Let me put my pants on. I got this." Like, it was. I thought at one point he was gonna fall out the window. Like, I really did. And he survived.
Yeah.
Whereas the head of security and his I guess his security, his only security guard with him, they get it bad, dude. They get done. It's just, you gotta see it to believe it, man. It goes so hard. I didn't think it was gonna go there. Yeah. And I say props to him. What we say about wrestling? If you're gonna go all the way, go all the way, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
This movie goes all the way. All the way.
So, where are you gonna put this on your list? So you said under Punisher.
Under the Punisher, yeah. So it doesn't make my top 10. I'm giving it a 3.5. Just, it's good.
Yeah.
For what it sets out to accomplish, damn, it does it.
It makes my number 9. I gave it a little higher than Punisher, but I enjoyed it. Just the fact that it was the first horror, and I think it gave it credit just for being different. So what we have been through so far. So I give it's on my number 9. So right now for our movies, your list, because I have that up first, is RoboCop, Batman, Toxic Avenger, Superman 2, Darkman, Superman the movie, Dick Tracy, Flash Gordon, Toxic Avenger, Punisher. My top 10 is RoboCop, Batman, Superman 2, Darkman, Flash Gordon, Superman 1, Dick Tracy, Toxic Avenger, Hardware, and Punisher.
Nice.
Our next movie is, I think this, right now, we're going to get to some heavy hitters within the next couple months. So, right now, next week will be RoboCop 2. Followed by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Followed by Guyver. Followed by Rocketeer. Followed by Batman Returns.
Nice.
So we got a lot of good, like, those are all, a few of those are like top 10 guaranteed, and then some of them are going to be fighting for a spot. So yeah, we got some really good movies. RoboCop 2 I have not seen since I was a kid. Like, I have not seen it as an adult, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, that's our next movie next week.
Nice. I'm gonna just put this out there. I recommend, if you can stomach it, I would watch Hardware.
Yeah.
Watch Hardware. It's not hard to find. I didn't have to pay for it. It was on BitChute, which is a website where a lot of like indie stuff, like old, you don't want to say garbage films, but just a lot of obscure cult stuff is on that website.
Oh, sweet.
They put it like a bunch of, it's like a European website, I believe, and it's kind of like a European Tubi almost.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
I just found it on cinema and I was able to watch it. I watched
it. Nice. It wasn't on YouTube. I was hoping it was.
No, I was looking on that too. All right, so yeah, RoboCop 2.
I think it might be, before we even continue, I think it might have been too hard it couldn't have been on YouTube. Dude, it's too graphic.
Yeah, because the sex scenes and the dude.
Not even. The sex scenes is one thing. I think they have some rated R movies on YouTube because they let movies be, but dude, that man gets his eyes. Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah. All right. So that's our movie this week. Next week, RoboCop 2.
Can't wait.
So, guess we wrap this up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. Shout out to Scott Steiner having his barbecue right outside my window today. Make sure you catch us. I know. The freaks are on the fire escape dancing. That's probably what they're doing. Make sure you check us anywhere and everywhere. RedCycloneInc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is also YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. And also, we have a WordPress. Make sure you check that out. There's gonna be lots of Mass Effect pictures on there soon.
Yes.
A ton. Because I just
Miranda.
be taking pictures of Mass. That game is
All I take.
so photogenic, man. It is so good.
I have so many pictures of Miranda.
Like that is wallpaper central, man.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man. Buy Mass Effect.
Yeah, get Mass Effect Legendary Collection. You know what you can do on PC. I don't know if they can do it on other. You can buy it one by one. Like there's a way you can separate it. Yeah.
You know what? I could see it maybe like on the store. You possibly could do that.
I think maybe on the Xbox, on the game, on the Microsoft store, you can probably do that.
Kind of like Mafia, because Mafia you were able to do that.
Okay, good.
You could buy the other two if you didn't want the first one.
Because they made a whole like, there's a UI for it. And, man, even the main menu music for the UI is good. Sometimes I just sit there and listen to it. Like, damn,
it's good.
If only I wish it came with a soundtrack. That's my one gripe.
I got it on Spotify.
Oh, they have the. Yeah. But did they have the legendary like?
Yeah.
Brand, maybe.
Yeah,
okay.
They're on top of everything.
Wow.
Yes, follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and SoundCloud. All Mark the Mic. Follow all our other podcasts. We have Shell Shock. We got Not a Trekkie, which we will have a new episode soon. The one that's gonna go up is Not a Trekkie is going up this week. Not a Trekkie, Shell Shock, the Morphin Cast, and the Gamer Reach podcast. Follow Gets Better I Swear, the Wrestling Babble on Facebook. Those are easiest way. The RedCycloneInc page and Wrestling Babble pages, and just follow stuff. Just follow Jinkies.
Do it. And the Jinkies. If that sandwich comes to life like that android, oh lord.
He'll eat it.
Lord.
He'll still eat it.
It might eat him.
And he will take the risk and try to eat it. So it's gonna be two things trying to fight each other.